Welcome to hot Jacksonville, Florida, and the renewal of the fierce AFC Central rivalry, the Steelers and the Jaguars. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Criqui with Craig James. Both these teams, as you know, have knockout runners. Both coaches feel the one that plays best will carry the day for his team.
Well, last year, Fred Taylor in the game one, the Steelers shut him down. Game two, he went to Pittsburgh, 234 yards and 4 touchdowns. He smoked them. Now, as for Jerome Bettis, he came to the meeting with us last night, and this guy was relaxed, had a good haircut, nice suit. He's fresh, his body feels good, and he's ready to go.
And the quarterbacks are interesting. A 3-time Pro Bowler in Brunell and the rising Cordell Stewart. He's getting better. Opening day 2001, the Steelers and the Jaguars, and who better to flip the coin than the President of the United States, George W. Bush. The Steelers, as the visiting team, have made the call. They have called heads, and we're ready to go now live to the Rose Garden at the White House, and President Bush, who's ready to flip the coin on opening day on CBS.
We're here in the Rose Garden to help kick off the NFL's 82nd season. This is a great day for fans. And I want to salute the NFL for its long history, lasting influence, and the quality of its athletes. I'm glad to be joined by members of Washington's Metropolitan Police Boys and Girls Club, all future NFL greats. And now to officially begin the NFL's 82nd season, the coin toss. This is heads. This is tails. Here we go. It's tails. I wish the players of the NFL good health and have a great season.
Thank you, President Bush. So the Jaguars will win the toss. They'll receive to start the game. We'll be back to Waltell Stadium with the opening kickoff in a moment.
Subway presents Fresh Starts. A look at those teams and players determined to turn heads this season. Subway, eat fresh. Each team opens the season with the same Super Bowl dream. Certain teams have started fresh with familiar faces, like the Chiefs with head coach Dick Vermeil and the Redskins with Marty Schottenheimer. The Chargers have a fresh start with veteran Doug Flutie at quarterback, while the Buccaneers have turned to Brad Johnson. Every franchise hopes their fresh start will turn dreams into reality.
Jared's always been an inspiration. Now it seems a lot of people are joining the team.
Feeling fine, it's a great time. We're a Subway family now. We love Jared, the Subway's taste. Come and join us, it's not too late.
Subway has 7 delicious sandwiches with just 6 grams of fat or less, including our new tasty honey mustard turkey with cucumber with just 4 grams of fat.
The only thing that's missing is you. Subway, eat fresh.
$80 degrees. Sun is shining. There is a chance of rain later in the day. Heavy rain last night. It's a very muggy day. You were down there, Craig, before the game, and you felt some humidity.
Hey, Beasley, Reese, and I both down there sweating bullets. This is a very hot day. Bill Cowher in the offseason had a contract extension. He seemed very relaxed and poised last night, confident and comfortable, mainly because his quarterback feels good about himself.
And Tom Coughlin, his counterpart, feels good about opening day. His Jags have won 5 straight openers. Here's the kickoff hit deep into the end zone, and Damon Gibson wisely elects not to bring it out. On the touchback, well hit ball by Chris Brown. The Jags go first and 10 at the 20s. We go to the sidelines, and Beasley Reese. Beasley?
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I don't think I'll have to go down there to pay for my sins. I'm here now. It is hot. It is humid. Cordell Stewart, quarterback of the Steelers, told me he's going to lose about 15, 20 pounds. I spoke to the umpire of the replacement officials, a big story around the National Football League, and here his name is Jim Diopoulos. He says, will we miss a few calls? Probably, but these guys are enthusiastic and excited about their first big day in the spotlight. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Beasley. Right now, the Jaguars set up at their 20. Brunell, a left-hander. Guy who throws strikes, comes out pitching, throws a strike. Gets the ball out to Keenan McCardell. Earlier in the week, it was thought McCardell might not play after undergoing hernia surgery a while ago, but he's back in the starting lineup. We look now at the Jaguars and the blockers for Brunell. Boselli, the All-Pro, Meester, Smith, Wiegert, and Maurice Williams across the front. Skill position players, Fred Taylor, the great runner, Patrick Washington, the rookie blocking back, Jimmy Smith and McCardell at the wideouts, and Kyle Brady, a tight end coming off his best season as a pro, caught 64 balls last year. On second and short, they go to Taylor, and he breaks ahead for a first down. Steeler fans remember so vividly Taylor ripping up the Steelers at Three Rivers last November for 234 yards and 4 touchdowns, and now a Steelers down. That's an important Steeler, Kimo van Olhoffen. While Kimo's attended to a look at the Steelers on defense. Across the front, Aaron Smith, Kendrick Clancy, and van Olhoffen. The linebackers, Jason Gilden, who had 12.5 sacks last year, Earl Holmes, Kendrell Bell, the rookie from Georgia, who's been a training camp sensation, another standout outside backer in Joey Porter. Townsend and Washington are at the corners. Alexander and Lee Flowers are the safeties. But unfortunately, Craig, Kino van Olhoffen is still down. So while he's being attended to by the training staff of the Steelers, there's a break in the action here at Alltel Stadium. Back in a moment.
Early in the season here, a lot of guys trying to get used to bodies flying around. Van Olhoffen over here, he gets his legs tangled up. Looks like Boselli and Earl Holmes come back down inside on him, and I think it's just the newness of the season. Guys getting used to bodies being around their legs.
It's 1st and 10. Van Olhoffen did walk off, and then he was they're taking him off to check it a little bit more, but he walked off. Here's the throw downfield and another strike. This is Jimmy Smith, who's caught more passes over the last 5 years than any player in the National Football League. That for a 20-yard gain. So the Jaguars come out firing, and they're sharp.
And one of the things that they have in Jacksonville for sure is Jimmy Smith. Now, they must find a way to get this guy the ball. One of the more productive receivers in the National Football League over the last 5 seasons. Smith, with that kind of flexibility and room that the defensive back gave him there, they can forget about covering him.
And as you know, Craig, Jimmy had a tough offseason, was in the hospital for over a month with the stomach problems. But he's back in all-pro form again. Brunell comes out. Here's the blitz coming. Brunell fires downfield, and it's incomplete. It would have been no gain, as there's good coverage from the outside by Joey Porter on Damon Jones, one of the tight ends, number 88. Joey Porter coming off a great year. Had 10.5 sacks last season.
One of the things the Jaguars are concerned about is they didn't have a lot of snaps and reps with their first unit during preseason. There's no depth here in Jacksonville. They're concerned about that. The timing will not be as smooth today as it will next week and the week following that.
Opening day jitters, but the Jags pass offense doesn't seem to have any. Here is Taylor, and the Steelers are keying on him. They felt, as you know, Craig, in November when he got those team record 234 yards. He got it on cutback runs. They were over pursuing.
Yeah, I've been watching it. You know, the Steelers defense, they have to be very disciplined in what they do today. And one thing about the Steelers defense, they don't have Levon Kirkland in the middle. There's the Kendrell Bell. We're going to talk a lot about him this year. This guy has to step up. So does Earl Holmes. They have to prove that on the inside that they can stop the running game.
Right now, though, it looks like the passing game again is on 3rd down and 9. Brunell sets up. He'll take the shotgun snap. It is 47. Over the middle throw, incomplete. So the Steeler defense holds very good coverage on that play. He was shooting at Kyle Brady. Earl Holmes, the anchor of the Steeler defense, number 50, was back covering the tight end. And so Chris Hansen comes out, and Hansen has got to be a little bit nervous. He's a new punter for Jacksonville. Last week in a preseason game against the Cowboys, his first punt attempt was blocked, and the Cowboys ran it back for a touchdown.
And I got to tell you, watching this guy in preseason and pregame today, he couldn't keep the ball on the field. I said to Gibson, his teammate trying to return him, I said, would you tell the guy to keep the ball on the playing field?
Well, let's see what he does now as Hank Poteet is back for the Steelers. A low snap. Ball's hit high. Looks like a good punt. Must have got his game face on. And here's Poteet signaling for and making a fair catch at the 8-yard line. And Cordell Stewart is ready to bring out the Steeler offense, number 10. That was a 40-yard punt and no return, so Hansen does get off to a good start punting.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, celebrating 30 years of freedom, 30 years, one mission, low fares. IBM, taking e-business and your business to the next level. and by Saturn. Now with 2 distinctively different car lines, the L Series and S Series.
We're back to Alltel Stadium. Don Criqui with Craig James and Beasley Reese. Steelers with the ball for the first time after a Jags punt. Here comes the bus on the roll, and Jerome Bettis takes it out to the 15-yard line. A gain of about 6 yards on the play. Cordell Stewart in his 7th year from Colorado, 28 years old. He played very well at the end of last season as the Steelers won 4 of their last 5. And he had a quarterback rating of over 85, as you know, Craig. And I think you really looked to him as being a much more confident player when we talked to him last night.
Yeah, it's a lot simpler playbook. Mike Mularkey's the offensive coordinator, a new guy in there, and they've really taken out all of the things that required Cordell to think a lot.
Yeah, let him just play. Second down. Steelers need 4. Here comes a blitzer. It's picked up beautifully by the Steelers, and here is an out pass to the flank, and Hines Ward, who Cordell calls his go-to receiver, makes the play for a Steeler first down. We look now at the Steelers and their offensive front. Gandy, Faneca, Hardings in from the Detroit Lions as a free agent. Tilsky and Smith. Good offensive line, particularly on the left side. Edison, Whitman, the big backs. Burris and Hines Ward, the starting lineups. Mark Bruner, the tight end, who's been known as a terrific blocker, but in the preseason they started to get the ball to him more. Not coincidentally, the new offensive coordinator, Craig, as you were mentioning, Mike Mularkey's a former tight end. Tight end's always open. The other tight ends. 1st and 10 Steelers. Stewart, good play fake, pump faking, good throw in the flat, and a nice open field tackle as Aaron Beasley, the right corner, makes a hit on fullback John Whitman. As we look at the Jaguars on defense. Across the front, Ronaldo Wynn, Seth Payne, Gary Walker, and Paul Spicer, who's in for the injured Tony Brackens. The backers, the Hardy Boys, Kevin Hardy and Hardy Nickerson and T.J. Slaughter. Hardy Nickerson, of course, a former Steeler. At the corners, Fernando Bryan and Aaron Beasley. And rookie Marlon McCree starts at free safety. So he could be tested. Donovan Darius back there with him. 2nd down and 7. Stewart has a ball tipped and incomplete. And Stewart takes a hard shot from Ronaldo Wynn just after he releases the ball. The upper left, you'll see scores of other games as Kansas City's jumped out to an early lead on Oakland. Opening day 2001. Coach Bill Cowher, his 10th opening day as the head man of the Pittsburgh Steelers. A contract extension, as you were mentioning, Craig, in the offseason. Takes him through the 2005 season.
Yeah, I think he earned it, too.
He's had a lot of good teams, and I think he's got another one. A lot of people in Pittsburgh don't think that yet, but these guys are going to be good. Here, Plaxico Burris as they try to get the ball deep, and it's incomplete. Burris, the big wide receiver, talked to Dick Hoke last night, the running backs coach, and said, you guys could be good. He said, if we get the ball to Burris, we could be good.
Well, this guy's huge. I'm standing on the sidelines, couldn't believe how big he was. He's got to finish the play. This is the, you know, when you've got an advantage of height, you've got to finish the play, and that's what the Steelers are trying to get him to do. Make the play at the end of it. I mean, we know we're going to get a chance, they say, to get the ball to him, but he's got to catch it.
He's got to start producing. He had no touchdown receptions as a rookie last year, Plaxico Burris. Here's the punt hit downfield by one of the best, Josh Miller. Damon Gibson backpedals for the Jaguars to his 20. Set up a near side return, and the Steelers lose him, and Gibson breaks it out across the 35-yard line. So it looked like he was caught and lost, but he broke free, and the new kick returner does a big job. A 56-yard punt, a 15-yard return.
Welcome back to a steamy Jacksonville where Kimo van Olhoffen, the defensive lineman, is on the sideline. He was taken out with an injury. It is a sprained ankle. His return is questionable. His replacement, number 94, Rodney Bailey, back upstairs.
Thanks, Beasley. Rodney Bailey, a rookie from Ohio State, who they say had a terrific summer in camp. Here is Fred Taylor putting on moves, and Taylor on a first down run. Goes right at the Steeler defense and takes it to the 40-yard line. Gain on the play of about 4.
One of the things the Steelers have said they're going to try this year, because of Casey Hampton coming in, a new rookie defensive tackle, is to go to a 4-3 defense. They're the only team in the league running the 3-4. You lose Von Alhoffen like that, that really limits and restricts your ability to show something different to the Jaguars.
Yeah, Von Alhoffen was a tremendous producer for the Steelers last year when he played nose tackle, a former Bengal they signed as a free agent. Brunell on second down. Needs 6. Gets time. Stands in. Now he's running out of time. Not as mobile as he used to be, but can still buy second chances with his feet. And he gets out of bounds as he's well defensed by the Steelers for no gain. Aaron Smith ran him out.
One thing about Mark in the past, he's been a guy that would really leave the pocket and throw the ball. He would hurt you with his legs. He's healthy right now, but he's very smart now. He says, look, I need to throw the ball down the field and live to play another day. Last season, 3,600 yards passing with a team that really was up and down. This is a Pro Bowl, all-pro type quarterback who has proven that he can win in this league. And if everybody stays healthy, he believes they have a chance to win the division.
And they really rely on his left arm, as you know, Craig. Last year he passed 512 times, a team record. Emphasized yesterday when we met with him how excited he is about this season. He really feels good about this Jags team. And he's been a winner, particularly in the division. Mark Brunell's record against AFC Central rivals as a starting QB is 30-14.
Delay, Jacksonville, number 8, 5-yard penalty.
Just as soon as we get up here and praise the guy, talk about how good he is, he allows delay of the game.
Yep. This happens.
The whammy.
You asked him yesterday what he does with his spare time. He said, I've got 3 kids and 1 on the way, Mark Brunell said. That's my spare time.
That's right. He loves it, too.
Third down. Steelers are going to blitz, it looks like. Brunell was very concerned about the Steeler blitz. He said they're really good at it. Here they come. Brunell fires to an open man. What a play. Kyle Brady takes it in on third down and over 10. He's ahead for a gain of 20 yards before Lee Flowers gets him down, but it's a first down for the Jaguars.
And both teams are going to play the cat and mouse. They're going to show up here that they might come with some people, but they back out the end. Mark Brunell realizes it's the cat and mouse game by the Steelers. They didn't fool him here at all. Kyle Brady, last season, really a breakout year for him. There's a lot of confidence and communication between now Brunell and Brady.
Brady was the 9th pick in the entire draft when he came out of Penn State 7 years ago. The Jets picked him. First and 10. Looks like they're checking off here. A lot of conversation at the line. Brunell throws down the middle. Too much on it. He's shooting at Brady again. Tom Coughlin, the only head coach the Jaguars have ever had. He set the bar high for every expansion team when in the second year these guys were in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, the only knock that I've ever heard from players about him is that he's so hardcore that in today's world that doesn't necessarily match well with the egos and the prima donnas walking around locker rooms. So you've got a divided locker room at times in this Jacksonville ball club, and that's been his only knock that I've ever heard.
But when you look at his 1-loss record,
it works.
It works indeed. He's good at it, coaching. Here is a handoff to Taylor. Look at this guy break a tackle on 2nd and 10 and get down to the 41-yard line. Lee Flowers brings him down. 6-yard gain on the play.
At Pittsburgh, to rush for 234 yards says a whole lot. That's the most ever given up by the Steelers in their history of their organization. Now, this guy here is a great, tremendous burst guy. Now, everybody talks about his cutbacks, but if you don't stay at home and try to get outside, he'll outrun you around the corner. So he can both hurt you outside and with the cutback.
And the Steeler franchise dates back to 1933. Well, the Jags are just beginning their 7th season. Brunell on third down throws near side. He comes in high, and his second tight end, Damon Jones, very good receiving threat, missed all of last season, injured in the opening game. So Mike Logan defending on the play, and the Jaguars, after hitting that big third down throw, now have to punt again.
And I think that you can really put that off on an inconsistent preseason. You don't play many guys out there. The timing's not there. Brunell probably discouraged that he didn't do that. 3rd and 3, you're supposed to convert that with him.
Didn't happen, though. So now it's 4th. And here is the punter Hansen in. Hits another high punt. Well done. And Poteet takes a look at it. It carries into the end zone for a touchback. So the Steelers on their 2nd possession of this opening day will start from their 20. 1st and 10. Still nothing on the board.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. And by America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1. There's never been a better time to get online.
The Steelers ready to go on offense again at their 20. They're coming off a 20-0 shutout of the Bills in their final preseason game. Cordell was on the field for 22 plays in that game, and they threw 16 times. Gearing up for some throwing on opening day. Let's see what he does now in first down. Toss pitch to Jerome Bettis. He's cut down. Good open field tackle. T.J. Slaughter was on the play. Number 53 coming to cut him down. Hardy Nickerson also coming in.
Tower told us he thought some of the keys to the ball game, it was very simple. Stop Fred Taylor and contain Jimmy Smith. Hey, that's pretty stated right there. Hey, don't let Taylor run the ball, contain. And this is the one right here I think is the most important thing that the Steelers will have all season. They're going to run the ball. Sure, they'll do that with Jerome Bettis. But Stewart can't mess up. He's got to realize he has a good defense. He's got a good special teams. He's got a good player around him in Jerome Bettis. Just don't mess up what we're doing out there.
Well, let's see what he does now on second down. He gives. Hand up. It is Haraway. And breaking it over the near side. Haraway turns it across the 30-yard line. Looks like he has a first down. 12-yard gain. Let's find out what the Chiefs and the Raiders are up to as we go to Jim Nance in New York. Jim?
Well, Don, the Raiders trying to go to their newest target, talking about Jerry Rice. First time they throw for Rice, they're picked. Gannon picked off by Eric Warfield. 51 yards the other way, his first interception since '99. And Dick Vermeil with a quick 7. Gruden's team down 7-3 first quarter. Let's go back to you.
Okay, Jim, you wouldn't call it hatred between the Chiefs and the Raiders, but it is a morbid dislike. First down. Cordell throws to an open Hines Ward, and he breaks ahead for another Steeler first down. So Haraway, who we're going to see more of this season, the smallish but very elusive running back from West Virginia, breaks a 12-yard run and now a 12-yard throw, Craig.
Yeah, one thing about Hines Ward, everything happens over here. When you look, you see there's a bubble over here, and all it's happening to the right side. Everything's on the right side. Hines Ward gets out to the right, and Cordell Stewart with that simple playbook. Don't look everywhere. You've got one of two options on the right side, and Hines was there.
Cordell throwing well early in the game.
3 of 5, 23 yards. That's good consistency.
Now he goes on 1st and 10 to the run, and the bus comes to a screeching halt after a gain of about 3 yards out close to the 46-yard line. Slaughter was on the stop. Check that scoreboard in the upper left hand. Here's the New Orleans and the Bills in late in the first quarter, no score. Kick return for a touchdown by the Chiefs. Seahawks and the Browns. Chicago up on Baltimore. Chicago a big underdog. Some people thought it was the worst team in the league.
I didn't think they'd score against them.
Dallas hanging in with Tampa Bay. Jerome Bettis getting a long look today, but again his former teammate Hardy Nickerson makes the slam on him.
Yeah, there are not many people slammed him too many times in his career. This guy here sneaking up on 10,000 against the Steelers, or with the Steelers. I mean, this guy, 4-yard average tells you a whole lot about a running back with a 36 touchdowns, and he doesn't miss playing time. They can depend on him. They know he's going to show up week in and week out.
Last year, as you know, is his 3rd most productive season in the bus. 3rd down from the shotgun. Cordell on the run. Penalty marker's down. He's got an open channel. He's got the first down and more if the play goes. Jaguar defensive linemen are pointing at the Steelers. That was an 11-yard run by Cordell. Backup officials, while the regular officials remain locked out in the contract impasse with the league. Whoa, it's against the Jaguars, so the play goes. He'll take the 11-yard run. Not what Coach Coughlin was looking to see.
Offsides on Jacksonville, number 7, 97, first down.
That's who was doing the pointing. Ronaldo Wynn, he was pointing at he thought he was drawn off.
this is one of the deal areas where they're going to test you. The veterans are going to see, can they get just a little bit more across into that neutral zone? And when you're 3rd and 8, the Jaguars had Cordell Stewart exactly where they wanted him.
Cordell, he's a great one when it's an open field and the play breaks down. The bus, they go to a reverse. Bobby Shaw turns it up, and he is diagnosed and knocked down. Terrific defense by Aaron Beasley, the former Mountaineer from West Virginia, at the right corner, a gain of just 1 yard. Cordell can block, Craig.
Well, you know what? I think some of the quarterbacks in the league this year have set an example in preseason. Brunell, one of them, that you got to go out and make blocks. Cordell gets in the way. 2 guys, he just gets in the way, which is all he needs to do. That's the illegal block right there, though. Cutting a guy with another lineman engaged with him. But Cordell just seemed to have a confidence about him last night in our meetings. A lot of calm about him right now.
Well, he feels real good about the offensive system under Malarkey, and the new quarterback coach, Tom Clements, he says has been terrific for him. First full-time QB coach the Steelers have had since 1973. Here's a throw to Foul Malafala. He crashes ahead. Hard running guy on 2nd down and 9. He breaks it down close to the 35-yard line, a 7-yard gain. The former Pro Bowler Kevin Hardy brings him down.
This is part of that Mike Malarkey new playbook, you know, just simplified. You know, it's a little bit of a screen here. Here's a reverse. We're going to throw to the flat. We're going to find a tight end over the middle. Nothing fancy. And then we're going to hammer at you with Jerome Bettis. And, you know, your guy, I'm going to name him your guy, Amos Zaraway. you said all week he was going to have some good spot yards, and he's already had one big bursting run.
Yeah, he was in for one play, and he ran for 12 yards. We'll see more of him on this hot day. 3rd down and 2. Cordell makes the throw. Beautifully done by Cordell and Plaxico Burress as Cordell Stewart throws a strike on 3rd down and converts for a 1st down. The Steelers drive on a 5-yard gain.
A nice job here, getting up, coming out, getting to the flat, making sure that he's disciplined in his route. Again, it's a simple approach. Nothing really tremendous about the pattern or what they're expecting from it. 3rd and 2, being smart, recognizing the situation, moving the chains.
It's Mike Malarkey. Bill Cowher telling us he auditioned, interviewed a lot of guys about being an offensive coordinator. He just liked the way Malarkey worked with players, liked his concepts. Right now, the Malarkey offense is moving the ball as Bettis again crashes in, takes it inside the 30-yard line and down to the 29 as we're down to 1 minute and 8 seconds to play in the 1st quarter.
And Gary Moeller, defensive coordinator in Jacksonville, said we need to build a human wall over. It's got to be a flat wall. We can't have bubbles in it where they can find creases. Jerome Bettis will find the crease. They do a nice job of building what he calls the flat wall. There's no room for him to go anywhere. They really stressed that this week, flat wall against Bettis.
And if he can't find the crease, Craig, he'll make a crease. There's Gary Moeller, defensive coordinator of the Jaguars, the former head coach of the Michigan Wolverines. 11th play of the drive coming up. The bus ends upfield and gets down close to the 27-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and a long 5 or 6. Kevin Hardy and Hardy Nickerson will combine on the stop of Jerome Bettis, now in his 9th year out of Notre Dame, a guy who wears out linebackers and defensive backs as the game wears on. He hasn't been this excited about a football season in a long time as the 1st quarter will come to an end. And as the end of the 1st quarter with the score, Jacksonville nothing and Pittsburgh nothing. We'll be back to Alltel Stadium after these messages.
The world's toughest tennis. Australia's young gun Leighton Hewitt battles a revitalized and fired up Pete Sampras. The U.S. Open Men's Championship next on CBS.
Back at Alltel Stadium, Don Criqui with Craig James and Beasley Reese. No score after the 1st quarter of play, as there was some 1st downs rung up by both sides and also some hard hits put on. And now the Steelers with the best drive of this game as they have moved the ball down to the 27-yard line of Jacksonville. But this is a big down for Cordell and the Steelers. And the Jags defense, 3rd down, and they need 7. Cordell takes it himself, puts his head down. He's going to be a yard or 2 short as Marcus Stroud, the #1 draft choice of the Jags, makes the tackle. Log on to NFL.com for real-time scoring, up-to-the-minute stats, and live play-by-play. Only at NFL.com or AOL keyword NFL.com. So now the field goal unit comes out. Chris Brown is out to try the field goal. His punter, Josh Miller, will hold. Mike Schneck is the long snapper. Field goal is on the way. And it's good. So the Steelers hit from 41 yards out and take an early 3-0 lead. Bill Cowher well pleased with the early returns. There is Chris Brown, the young place kicker from Nebraska, ready to kick off. He just hit a 41-yard field goal. For his career, he is 85% field goal makes. Tremendous. It's his third year as the return on the kickoff by David Gibson is advanced out to the 27-yard line. Jaguars with a relatively good starting position there. Brunell looks to get the Jags offense on track.
Welcome back to Jacksonville, where the Pittsburgh Steelers game plan is working. The Jaguars game plan is not. All-pro wide receiver Jimmy Smith told us yesterday they had to score deep and quickly, get on top of the Steelers in order to get them out of their ball control type of offense. They have not been able to do it. Back upstairs.
Well, they have not, Beasley. Coughlin likes to get that early strike, score, and then shorten the game with Fred Taylor running the ball. But the Steelers have taken a 3-0 lead. Here's Brunell. He's looking long, wafting it downfield. Beautifully executed by the Jaguars. Jimmy Smith and Mark Brunell combining once again. Jimmy Smith, who's caught 450 passes over the last 5 seasons. 23-yard gain.
Here's what Beasley's talking about. Here, look at the time they have to throw the ball. There's 7 guys who drop back into coverage. Excellent job on the timing between Jimmy Smith and Mark Brunell. But they've got to mix it up right now. Pittsburgh's defense has to somehow get into Brunell and get him confused and off base with his rhythm.
That was a great throw by Brunell. Wafting it over the coverage right where it had to be. Here is the handoff, and Fred Taylor breaks it, and he's not done. Fred Taylor inside the 35. As the Jaguars offense comes alive on a 19-yard run by the great back Fred Taylor. Lee Flowers finally gets him out of bounds. But the Jags start to move.
All right, what I tell you to you, Don, this guy's got the ability to cut back, but he also has the ability to stretch the defense. This time they do a nice job of coming down the line, but the offensive linemen, they stay and they push the play to the top. Fred Taylor does not cut back. He stays with the play and has a big gain on it. That's what makes it so hard to defend against Fred Taylor.
Well, when he's in the lineup, they're a different team, but Taylor has missed 9 games over the last 2 years because of injuries. He is in good shape right now. Throw. A daring play by the receiver on an incomplete pass as Keenan McCardell, who works the middle of the field with a lot of courage, stretches right out into the teeth of the defense. Next, the ultimate test of the world's toughest tennis, the men's championship, live from Flushing Meadows. For more on U.S. Open tennis, go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. Bruce Sampras and the young Australian sensation Leighton Hewitt playing for the U.S. Open title. On second down, Taylor stopped for a loss. Steelers read that. Coming in was Earl Holmes along with 91 Aaron Smith. Earl Holmes, maybe the most underrated inside backer in the league. The man they call the heart of their defense.
And they're really excited about the speed that they have on the inside linebackers now. Levon Kirkland was a big plug-em-up guy, no problem with that. But Holmes is a guy at 245, 240. He really moves well. And that time he attacked Fred Taylor before Fred could make a decision on where he was going to go.
Fred's awful good at making those decisions. He's got great vision and cutback ability, but now it's third down. Brunell and the Jaguars need 12. A throw and a great grab by Kyle Brady for a first down. A 14-yard gain on the play as Brady has really, now there's a startup after the play, some swinging going on, and penalty markers are down. Took Kyle Brady a while, Craig, to really reach top form, but Bill Parcells thought he was the best player in the draft the year he came out.
Well, absolutely. Hey, here's where the officials have to take command here. This is a very intense rivalry. We can't have one of these offsetting business deals. They've got to be definitive. Somebody's got to get, they've got to let us make a statement right here.
Coach Tom Coughlin's on the field now, helping them with the call. It was those guys. Now they're going to set the Jags back. Is that unsportsmanlike? It is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 71.
Boselli.
Yeah.
Beasley, bring us up to date from the field.
Well, that happened about 10 or 15 yards away from me. It started with number 50 of the Steelers, Earl Holmes. He was locked up in a pushing battle with number 87, Keenan McCardell of Jacksonville. I think the replacement reps allowed this to go too long. They were shoving for a long time before Boselli and others came in and joined in the fight and kind of cleared everything out. Back upstairs.
Hey, Bees, go ahead and jump out there and put a hat on, a zebra suit. I mean, you're always 10 or 15 yards from the plate. How do you do it?
Make a call, Bees.
Hey, here's what he's talking about, though. Really, they should have come in and blown the whistle a lot sooner than they did. It allowed Boselli the time to get up there. Tempers are very, very short in a game like this on opening day, and the officials must stay on top of them right away.
And now on this critical play call, 3rd down and 13 coming up, Brunell has called timeout. And Coach Coughlin's back on the field. He wants to talk to the referee. Ain't going to happen.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Original Coors. Nothing beats an original. Genuity, delivering Black Rocket, the e-business network platform. On the web at genuity.com. And by the 2002 Pontiac Bonneville, luxury with attitude.
Coach Coughlin was protesting during the timeout about the call against Boselli that now sets these Jaguars up. 3rd down and a long 13. Brunell from the gun takes a look, fires long. He's got Jimmy Smith. Touchdown, Jaguars. The 31st career touchdown pass from Brunell to Jimmy Smith. It comes on 3rd and 13, a 34-yarder. Well, he just had the defense beaten cold, Craig.
Single high free safety. Got a corner trying to stay with Jimmy. Forget it.
Mike Hollis buys the extra point up and through. As we look at a replay as the Jags take the lead.
The way he was able to reload and find the single coverage out here. No help with Dwayne Washington. Jimmy's got tons of time to get past that. And Mark Brunell said, anytime I see single over there, you can count on me finding Jimmy Smith.
The Jaguars have taken the lead on a 34-yard touchdown pass. Brunell to Smith. Here's the kickoff. Hit downfield. And it's taken by Troy Edwards across the 10. Breaks it. Edwards across the 20. On his way across the 25, looking for help. Gets a block, and Troy Edwards with a superb run back of 31 yards.
All right, let's go back and take a look at this touchdown play. You hear these quarterbacks buzzword now. They're talking about these single highs. That's these high free safeties. These guys get back here in the middle of the field. Well, when he does that, Brunell buys just enough time when he gets to the outside. Jimmy's going deep. He comes here. They went with 5. They did not get to Mark. And every time, as I said, that Mark sees this single high, that one guy in the middle of the field with no help on Jimmy Smith, you can count on me finding Jimmy for a touchdown.
Well, he found him. Jimmy's had quite a year. He was in the hospital for over a month. He had 3 stomach operations. And while he was in the hospital, his wife gave birth to twins. So kind of a good news, bad news hospital stay. A lot of good news. And more for the Jaguars and their fans in that last play as now the Steelers get set to go 1st and 10. Cordell throws and makes it to no. It's dropped at the 42-yard line. As Plaxico Burress is unable to come up with the ball. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights. Plus a preview of the U.S. Open men's finals between number 4 Leighton Hewitt and number 10 Pete Sampras. That's coming up on the Nextel halftime report. There's your former partners in the studio. The Rogues Gallery.
Mike says he misses my camaraderie on Friday night. I miss you too, Mike.
Second down and 10. Hard run by the Bucs. He gets about 4, close to the 35-yard line. Jerome Bettis taken down by Hardy Nickerson, a 5-time Pro Bowler at middle linebacker. His 5th year from Cal.
Hey, you got a hole for just a little bit. They're going to come around on the right side. They're going to try to stretch this defense. The play's back on the inside. Jerome Bettis, in my opinion, on this play here was a little late getting there. Guard tackle, they're pulling. You got a back on a strong safety blocking. Had he been up in there just a little bit sooner, he'd have been able to get around there. That inside pursuit got him. I mean, they got 7 carries, 14 yards, and I got to go back to what you might have said here. Maybe that little extra burst from Amos Zeraway might be a welcome addition right now.
There he is, number 21. Guess who's getting the ball when we come back?
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples. Staples has everything you need for your business at great low prices. And by BF Goodrich Tires. Take control.
Welcome back to Jacksonville on this hot September day. A lot of rain last night. The field steamy with the sun shining, but no rain as of yet. 60% chance. Bill Cowher saw the pass game of the Jaguars rain on his defense, though, from 34 yards out. Touchdown. Now it is 3rd down. Wardell and the Steelers need 6. Zeraway's in the backfield. Hines Ward now joins him in the backfield. Wardell makes a throw. Incomplete at midfield as he's shooting at Plaxico Burress. Ball comes in low. Fernando Bryant was defending. Steelers have to punt.
All right, now here's where the timing of the receiver and the quarterback has to come into play. I think, in my opinion, when he makes his cut, he kind of bends it a little bit. He's got to get straight across the field. He can't afford to bow. That little bow allowed the defensive back to jump just inside of him.
That was a good defensive play by Fernando Bryant, 3rd-year corner from Alabama. The number 1 draft choice of the Jaguars back in '99. Josh Miller into punt. One of the NFL's best. Great leg strength, great directional skills, and has tremendous hand. Not there, he's blocked. Partially blocked. It does get a roll downfield, and Miller's hurt. He's down, and the ball rolls dead at midfield as Josh Miller is face down. A punt of just 15 yards. No sooner said about his skills, and they get through and partially block it. Donovan Darius came through. And you can lay the kicker out if you block the ball.
Tom Coughlin said this would be a game of field position. Somebody has to make a play on the special teams. They come clean. There's nobody in the middle here. There's nobody inside here blocking, taking care of him. When you look at this thing, everybody kind of spreads out. Now, what they've got to do is they've got to bunch up, because the next time you know for sure. Look at him. He comes back on the inside. This little loop play here. There's no way that can happen from the inside on your punt protection.
Donovan Darius, a happy guy, and well, he should be. Been in the NFL now for 47 games, and he started every one. A defensive back from Syracuse, number 1 pick of the Jags back in '98. The punter is still being attended to on the field. Josh Miller, when the punt was blocked, he was hit hard by Donovan. They're looking at his left leg. We'll be back to Jacksonville in a moment. We are back at Jacksonville, where the Steelers punter, after his punt was blocked, was knocked down hard by Donovan Darius, who blocked the punt. He's still down. He's been down for about 4 minutes now. The backup punter for the Steelers is the place kicker, Chris Brown.
Yeah, the way they're looking at him right now, it leads you to believe that at least it's either a bruise or a muscle in the hip area. It's not a joint injury.
He's having a hard time going off the field. His left leg. Barely able to move it, so it does not augur well for his return.
And you know, we were sitting here in pregame talking about how the Jaguars had a punt blocked by the Cowboys in the last preseason game. They were worried that Pittsburgh was going to come after them heavily, and it turns around on the Steelers.
Donovan Darius, the man who blocked the punt while we were away in commercial, he was right out there checking to see how the punter was doing. Apparently not well, and the 15-yard punt, after it was partially blocked, now gives the Jaguars field position at the midfield line. There's Chris Brown. He's going to start kicking into the net. Getting more work than he was ready for. He hit the opening points of the day on a 41-yard field goal for the Steelers. Jacksonville coming back on the touchdown pass.
I'm okay.
Brunell to Jimmy Smith. First down, Jaguars. Near side throw. Fred Taylor out of bounds. A gain of only about 2 yards. They've had him pretty well looked at. Didn't break one good run.
Well, they call him Fragile Fred. That's because he's had to deal with several little nagging injuries in his career. But when he is healthy, he's as good and as an explosive a runner as there is in the NFL. And that 4.7-yard average means he has a lot of big, long plays.
But he's never played a full NFL season. Here he does play the full one. It could be in the Super Bowl. He's that good. He's the difference maker. Gets the ball now. Here's Fred Taylor, the former Florida Gator, breaking it inside the 40 and down to the 38-yard line. An 11-yard gain on the play. So the Steelers with early injury problems in this game. Von Oelhoffen's out with an ankle.
All right, big Zach Wiegert coming out in here. They really push and they create a nice cutback lane in here for Fred Taylor. Zach Wiegert coming back this year does a nice job of throwing his butt to the hole, creates a running lane for him. And then Fred Taylor finds it. There's absolutely zero push right there or penetration. Fred will lead him up. He'll have another 200-yard game if they don't get penetration.
And he's building his numbers now. As you see, 43 yards rushing on 7 carries, over 6 yards a carry. First down, Jaguars. Brunell firing a strike. Threads the defense. Who else? Jimmy Smith. A 13-yard gain, and the Jags drive on. Jaguars have beaten the Steelers 5 of the 6 times they've played here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, this linebacker's got to get back. He's got to get in that passing lane. He has to take away that ball right there. He went too wide. That's poor defensive work by the linebacker, Gilden. He has to recognize where the play is going to come to.
That's recognizing things as Brunell absolutely threading the ball in. Here's a handoff. They go to Fred Taylor, and on first down carry, he's ahead for a gain of close to 4 yards before Joey Porter, 55, an outside backer, makes the stop for the Steelers. Also out of the lineup right now with an ankle problem is Kenbrell Bell, that standout rookie who was starting an inside backer. His return questionable, so the Steelers for the moment have lost starting defensive end Von Oelhoffen, inside backer Bell, and their punter. And the Jaguars with a 7-3 lead looking to build on it. Throw, but it's off target. Good rush put on. The best pass rusher in the front, Aaron Smith, and the outside backer, Jason Gilden, combined on the pass rush. Tuesday on CBS, after 3 months of conniving, lying, and cheating, the Big Brother game is hotter than ever. 9 house guests have been eliminated. 3 remain. Who will walk away with a cool $500,000? Don't miss an all-new Big Brother Tuesday here on CBS.
How do we get in that game?
Lying and conniving. All those good things. They're down at 7 for Brunell. Brunell is on the run. He hadn't lost it. As he dives down to the 15-yard line. He gets a first down, it would appear. Now the linesman's going to make it close. Could call for a measurement. Looked like he got to the 15, but they're spotting him down at the 16.
All right, here we go. Flowers comes off the outside there. That's called a shark. That's a pre-snap read that Brunell has there. Everybody picks him up. They are very aware of the pre-snap read with number 41, Flowers. They call it the shark. Strong safety's coming on a blitz. Last time we saw him pull up and throw deep for a touchdown. This time he hurt him with his legs. And that's the kind of thing that happens. That's the kind of thing that really wreaks havoc on a defense. This defense is walking around right now. I mean, they're divers in the dirt for sure, Don. They need to. They're worried. I guarantee you right now, Cowher's worried about his defense running out of gas.
Having lost to 2 starters at least for the moment, and this is a day you can run out of gas. So we talked to Coughlin yesterday, and they get the first down by the nose of the ball. He was talking about the weather today. He said it's going to be hot, but not dreadful. He'd like it to be dreadful. But we could have rain, as that's not a friendly-looking set of clouds moving this way. A mist of spring on the Steelers. Right now, as you point out, Craig, their defense on its heels. Jaguars looking to get a lead in this game and then shorten the game with their power running. They've gotten the lead coming from behind to lead 7-3. Nothing much going on there as Fred Taylor is taken down by Chris Combs in at defensive end.
Well, here's what happens here. You get a little penetration from the inside. Linebacker comes on the inside. They're trying to stretch here again to make a play to the left side, which has been so good going the other direction. 57 linebacker gets to the backside, takes away the cutback, and then they've got good penetration play side, and they stop it.
Stop it they did, but Taylor's having another good day against the Steelers. 2nd down and 9. Brunell in the shotgun. 3-man rush gives him time. Throwing a catch. Touchdown Jacksonville. 15-yard throw to Jimmy Smith. 32 times they've combined on a TD scores. Brunell and Jimmy Smith right on time again this season, as they have been throughout their careers together here in Jacksonville. And Hollis is on now to try the point after. 6:33 to go in the first half. Extra point is good, and the Jaguars have come from behind with 14 unanswered points to take command. Jags winners of their last 5 opening days.
Hey, the play action pass, Don, has worked so well. The linebackers get back and they're too shallow. There's no support from Earl Holmes. He's really got to get back here. These right in here. See him? He needs to get back. He's got to stop worrying about the guy on the inside. He's got to help with the crossing pattern and take away those. Jason Gilden and Holmes, these linebackers really need to support the corners and the deep safeties in taking away lanes.
Yeah, somebody's got to help covering Jimmy Smith. He's eating them up tonight on CBS. If you or anyone you know missed any part of the amazing race, here's your chance to see it tonight after 60 minutes. And catch an all-new episode on Wednesday at 9, 8 Central. The amazing race tonight after 60 minutes here on CBS. Well, this game has turned. Opening day 2001. The Jaguars playing the Steelers in the division. The last 2 times this year, the Jaguars in the reconfiguration 2002 season will go to the AFC South. Jim Tarrell, who's on the roster just to kick off, ready to hit the ball for the Jaguars. Pick spins down to the goal line, and Troy Edwards will run it back. We remember the last one, he ran back 31 yards. Not this one. Jaguars, great special teams play. Down to make the stop. Joseph to Apollo. Let's go down to Beasley.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. I watched this Steeler defense walk off the field a few minutes ago. They are absolutely exhausted. Half of the guys with their helmets off, heads hanging down. And as for punter Josh Miller, who might be called on if the Steelers don't do well here, he was pointing at his high left hip. He did stand up and try to walk, but very gingerly. Something's happening, as Craig James and you, Don, did predict. Something happened up around that hip. Back to you.
Interesting, Beasley, when you talk about who's tired out there. Jacksonville's unit really didn't play much in the preseason, and yet they're the freshest group. You would think the Steelers would have a little more conditioning.
Hit ball incomplete, and now the Steelers forced into an offensive set where they don't want to be, Craig, where Cordell Stewart's called on to bring him from behind with his arm. They wanted to have a lead, mix their offense, run the ball.
Well, if ever there was a good penalty to have on a team, I would say that Tony Baselli hit in the back and had the unsportsmanlike conduct call on him. It brought his team to life. They scored the touchdown the next play, and the crowd got into this game. Baselli went out, rocked them, and now this Jaguar team and stadium is alive.
Boy, it is alive. Jags looking good. Coming back. 2nd and 10 for Cordell. Handoff. Zarraway breaks it. Spins out. Gets to the 20-yard line. Zarraway's ahead for close to 5 yards before Nickerson gets him down. But now the Steelers face with another 3rd and 5.
You know, right now there's 8 men playing up pretty tight right now. There's not a lot of respect or fear of anything going on with the passing game, so they're really up there. They're inviting the throw by Stewart, and everything has been very tight so far. Even their passing game has been underneath or to the flats. At some point, Burris has to make the catch. Earlier in the game, remember we saw that, Don? He didn't finish the play down the sideline. Somebody has to stretch this Jaguars defense.
They badly need Burris to make plays. He's at the top of your screen. 3rd down and almost 6, and now it might be too long before the snap. Penalty markers come in. Ronaldo Wynn coming on the rush. That it might be a 5-yard call against the Steelers for delay of game. It is. So instead of 3rd and a long 5, they now go to 3rd and about 11.
Delay, number 10, Pittsburgh. 3rd down.
Not where you want to be with Cordell ready to be blitzed.
Cowher's mind's turning right now. He's thinking right now, hey, if I have to punt the ball from the 15-yard line with my backup punter, my place kicker, field position will hurt us, and that's going to give them a great shot at coming in and scoring in the next series.
Yeah, field position that could really work the Jaguars' way if they don't convert here. Cordell takes a look, makes the throw. He's got Plaxico Burris for a 1st down. And Burris, the big rangy receiver from Michigan State, pumps a fist as he comes over the middle on 3rd down and 11 for a 19-yard reception.
They come with 4 guys. They only rush 4. 4 right here are going to put the pressure on him. They're going to drop 7 into coverage. Now, if that happens, you've got to cover the wide receivers. You've got to cover up and make a play. A nice job of getting in, putting the pressure on him late. But the bottom line is Burris, I just said his name, 2 plays ago, said he's got to make a play. He comes across discipline. He's tight with his route, expects the throw.
And the throw was there. And the Jaguars defense digs in to go after Cordell again. Here's a blitz from Darius. Throwing a drop. Evan Hardy puts the hit on the tight end Mark Bruner as the ball arrives. So it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10 Steelers at their 34-yard line.
That's the first time I've seen the zone blitz where you drop that defensive lineman out. Darius replaced him in the pass rush, coming with 4. They're going to try to work in getting the helmet now of Stewart here. They're going to try to show him a few different things here, make him guess a little bit, knowing he's going to throw the football down the field.
As you know, Craig, he has got a rocket arm. Cordell Stewart, he can put the ball anywhere on the field. Throw, catch, out to the 40-yard line. Not a hitting coming, ball's on the field. It looks like it's live, and it might be a fumble recovery. It is for Jacksonville. Marlon McCree, the rookie free safety after Hardy Nickerson freed the ball. Marlon McCree, 32, was a linebacker of Kentucky. Ward had the ball and lost it, hit hard, and now Jaguars roll on.
I guess the ultimate question here is, will his forward progress have stopped? Is he stopped, or is he still trying to fight and get free? You know, yeah, that's a good hit. That's a fumble all the way. Hardy getting over to the football. The game is too tight right now for the Steelers offense. The Jaguars only have to cover that 10-yard box vertically right now. There's nothing there.
Brunell and the Jaguars set up 1st down and 10. They're already in field goal range here late in the 2nd quarter. Brunell with the rush on him. Releases and makes the connection. This is the tight end, Damon Jones, and he heads down to the 1-yard line. They'll spot him out now at the 3, but it's 1st and goal Jaguars on a 22-yard pass play. Brunell's taking them apart.
What I call the zone, little zone running play. They really try to stretch. They've been successful running this way. And then Jones is going to leak and come back. Nice job. Look at him down here on the ground. Going to come back over. See him get off the ground. Coming back. Excellent discipline by Damon Jones of allowing the defense to think he's on the ground. He gets all the way over to the other side by himself and picks up a nice yard.
And what numbers for Mark Brunell? 10 of 16.
168 yards, 2 touchdowns. The 2 touchdowns are what count, right?
They sure do. They're the difference. It's a 14-3 game with 3:31 to go. Brunell down close. 1st and goal. Wants a timeout. Back to Alltel Stadium in a moment. Ominous cloud cover high over Jacksonville, Florida. And the Steelers in danger right now of getting knocked out of this game early If the Jaguars take it in here and go up 21-3, Cordell's going to have to hit an awful lot of throws in the second half to get him back in it. It turned fast on a 3rd and 13 play.
64 eligible.
Brunell hit a 34-yard touchdown pass to open the scoring for Jacksonville and bring them from behind. Now they're looking to build on. Brunell again. Open man. Touchdown, Damon Jones. Brunell tearing it up. The last time the Steelers played Jacksonville at Three Rivers with Fred Taylor. Now it's Mark Brunell. Three touchdown throws from Mark Brunell, the former Rose Bowl MVP back in '91. The University of Washington. Alazan to try the point after. And the Jaguars take command of the game. Look at Brunell. 11 of 17 for 169 yards and 3 touchdowns. 2 to Jimmy Smith, 1 to Damon Jones.
Yeah, I think just about everybody in the stadium expected Fred Taylor to get this ball, that it was going to be just a power running game. Damon Jones, Bob Petrino, the offensive coordinator, said you can't imagine how important he was to us last year, and when we lost him, it really hurt us. And Brunell said the same thing. Mark said, you know what, having Damon Jones and Kyle Brady in this offense gives me the ability to run the ball and throw the ball.
And the question, Craig, which AFC team will have the most regular season wins in 2001? Who do you think? Or you can choose another one. Those are some of the leading contenders. Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com. Great second look at that touchdown throw. Our producer today for CBS Sports is Bob Dekas. Our director, Mark Grant. The executive producers of the NFL on CBS are Sean McManus and Terry Eworth as we come to you from Alltel Stadium. The kickoff hit downfield, and here comes Will Blackwell across the 15. And when the Steelers need a big return so badly, they get one to the 21-yard line and have the long field to go. Greg James, you had some crystal ball picks.
Yeah, can I change that? Can I think I need to put somebody in here. Where is Jacksonville? I need a Jacksonville pick over here. But you know, right now at this point, I think the top 6 teams in both conferences, most people would agree with that. They may not agree with the wild cards in there. But I take, for instance, over here, I think that Miami's defense and that Fiedler's going to have a better year. I believe they'll get up in there and win. The AFC West, I think, will be the best division in football. And teams like Seattle. Seattle's a bubble team. Jacksonville's a bubble team. How will they perform, and will they make the postseason play? I don't know.
Well, this is a lot of people argue, and Tom Coughlin leads the argument as Will Blackwell is looked at after being shaken up on the kick return, that he thinks the AFC Central is the best division out there. It certainly is the division of the great runners. Look at the running backs in this division. He has Fred Taylor. The Steelers have Jerome Bettis. Tennessee has Eddie George. Corey Dillon might be as good or better than any of them in Cincinnati.
And you know what, that drives him crazy. What you just did right there, when people think about the best running backs in the NFL, they don't mention Corey Dillon. They go through all the Eddie George and Jerome Bettis and all that other stuff. And yet Corey's the guy who has a single game rushing record. He's a heck of
I was there.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. He's having a big day against the New England Patriots today. It's Corey Dillon. Wednesday on CBS, prepare yourself for a whole new breed of drama. Lou Diamond Phillips stars in Wolf Lake. Premiering Wednesday at 10, 9 Central, here on CBS. Will Blackwell looks like he's okay. Right now, the Steelers are far from okay. These Jaguars have hit them hard and often. Jags down early 3-0, and then bang, 3 touchdown passes from Brunell. 2 to Jimmy Smith, the last to tight end Damon Moore. Cordell throws, makes the connection, but the defense is there, and taken down quickly is Bobby Shaw.
We've been talking about the average field position in the start and how important that is. Pittsburgh's average start in 5 possessions, their own 19-yard line. Jacksonville, through 5 possessions, their own 42.
Yeah, that's been a difference. You talked about field position at the outset. Here is a screen pass play. They get the ball out, and Marcus Stroud brings down Amos Zaraway, but it looks like he might have a first down on 2nd down and 8. He's ahead for first down yardage. They were screening more and more to him in the preseason. Former Mountaineer from West Virginia. He rides low at 5'7", 202 pounds. Cordell Stewart, long ball. Hines Ward makes the catch. What a play by Hines Ward as he's down to the 34-yard line. And with 2:16 left to go, the Steelers quickly go into alignment without a huddle, trying to get a play off before the 2-minute warning. 34-yard gain on the play as Hines kind of limps off. But a job well done.
Last time he touched the ball, it wasn't a job well done, was it? He fumbled.
That's right. He's the guy Cordell told us yesterday is his go-to guy. Excellent hands and a guy the scouting report says plays with no fear.
Again, and a lot of this has to do with the fact that they have time to throw the football. Hines makes the play. They ought to show Burris that play. Tell him how to finish up.
On this hot, humid September day, rain is sweeping into northern Florida and off across Alltel Stadium's playing field. Driving rain as Cordell Stewart stands in against the blitz, and he's taken down by it. Kevin Hardy coming hard, number 51. Coming up on the Nextel halftime report, join Jim, Mike, Randy, and Jerry for all the scores and highlights, plus a preview of the U.S. Open men's finals between number 4 Leighton Hewitt and number 10 Pete Sampras. It's all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. 2nd down and 17 for Cordell and the Steelers. Throw, catch. And out of bounds goes the receiver. That's Will Blackwell who took it in. Taken out of bounds by Fernando Bryant. A gain of just 7 yards. So that brings up 3rd down and long.
They have been in 3rd and long the entire first half. They can't get to it. I think they may have had one 3rd and 2. It's not a good. And you know, Cowher says we need to move the chains on 3rd down, score a few points, and win with defense. That 3rd and long just doesn't work in that formula.
Well, right now it is cooling off. That was working against the Steelers, the heat. The Jags love it.
Working against me, too.
Plaxico Burris at the top of your screen, at the lower portion of your screen. Cordell looks for him. Cordell takes off, and they'll knock him down at the 32-yard line, which would bring up approximately a 49-yard field goal attempt in the rain and wind. Chris Brown's career long is 52. He hit that last season. Number 3 back there, the former Nebraska kicker, who has hit 85% of his field goal tries as a pro. It's pretty good.
He's an outstanding kicker. Great weapon over there. But you know what they got to deal with right now is reality, in that Chris Brown would be the punter should they try to punt. That wouldn't work.
Tonight on CBS, if you or anyone you know missed any part of The Amazing Race, here's your chance to see it tonight after 60 minutes. And catch an all-new episode on Wednesday at 9, 8 Central. The Amazing Race tonight after 60 minutes here on CBS. 1:13 left to go. The Steelers up against it. The Jaguars have taken over the game. Lead 21-3. And the Steelers have 4th down and 8 coming up. And the rain's coming down hard.
Watching Chris Brown in pregame, I'd say about 53 yards was about where his range was. But this rain definitely will knock it down a little bit, take some off of that.
Right now they got the regular offense out there.
Yep.
They're bringing in Fuamadu Ma'afala, probably to blitz block. They've got to give Cordell time. Cordell's liable to run around a little bit back here, Craig, and watch for something to open up. Maybe the run. They need 8 on 4th down to keep it going. There's a throw. Tip ball, it's intercepted. Picked off by middle backer Hardy Nickerson, the former Steeler. The throw was to Bobby Shaw, but the ball was tipped. And the Jaguars stopped the drive, and Bill Cowher seems another chance come to a screeching halt. 2nd pit turnover.
Not quite sure if he's trying to throw to the slot or if he's trying to get it. He's trying to get inside where they're going to both come up and get across the middle of the field. I'm not so sure which one he's trying to throw to, because Plaxico Burris was up top, and here was Plaxico, and I think that's where I would have at least tried to throw the football.
Ball came right off the receiver's hands. Yeah. Bobby Shaw. Well, it's wet. But the linebacker had no problem catching it. Look at Brunell. He wants to put up more coming out of the shotgun. He can deliver. Now he goes to Fred Taylor. And Taylor on first down runs it close to the 29-yard line. The clock ticks down. Final minute of the first half. Don Criqui with Craig James and Beasley Reese. Alltel Stadium, opening day 2001. The Jaguars, who started last year losing 6 of their first 8, off to a great start today. Throwing a drop. That stops the clock with 40 seconds left to go. First half. Seattle and Cleveland tied up at 3-all at the half. Chicago playing Baltimore tough. That's the Jags' next opponent. And there's an upset possibly in the making. Carolina winning at Minneapolis over the Vikings. Tampa Bay and Dallas.
You said that. You thought they'd play them tight. I didn't see how Dallas could score either.
Third down for Brunell. This guy can throw in the wind and rain because he practices in it. But it comes in low and hard and incomplete. Sean Dawkins, who's been a free agent acquisition, not a factor too much today, but they think he's going to be a guy who can really work the sidelines. A big target at 6'4". And now the Jaguars will punt the ball.
I'm not so sure I agree with that series right there. I believe I'd have tried to run the clock out and not even take a chance on having to snap the ball in this rain.
Hank Poteet, the former Pitt Panther, back at his 34-yard line to return the kick for the Steelers. Well hit ball in the rain. Hank goes back. Poteet can't handle it. It goes out of bounds. Lucky for him, perhaps, that it did. So the ball will be positioned at about the 23-yard line. Get in the game. Register today for all levels of fantasy football, from novice to expert. Just click on Free Fantasy at cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. How are you? You're probably good at that fantasy football.
You know, I'm trying. I'll
take Mark Brunell. Did I pick him today?
Well, you know what? Who did I take? Quarterback I took, my little thing I do, Dante Culpepper. Aren't they losing 10-0?
Yes, they are. No points for Dante and the Vikes yet.
How about that?
We got big-time rain coming in here now. So the Steelers faced with 28 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Jim Nantz and the crew standing by in New York to update all the games, all the highlights, as Amos Zaraway runs the ball and gets it out close to the 29-yard line. 3 carries for Zaraway, and he's gained 26 yards. But too little too late at this portion of the second quarter. They need to gun the ball downfield, and they're not going to let that in this rain and risk another turnover. Well, maybe they are. Cordell, now he's going to hand off. Zaraway again. Gets a first down, but so what? Half runs out. So in a driving rain late in the second quarter, the Jaguars take command going to halftime 21-3. What does Coach Cowher do now, Craig?
Now he's got to remind them they've been behind before in several situations. Oakland last year, Cordell came back and brought them back to victory. This is a big halftime for them in terms of it being the first game of the season.
And Cordell was telling us they were way down to Baltimore last year, too, and came back and won it.
Yeah, so they've been there. They've been in this situation. That's what they have to stress here.
Tremendous half, though, for the quarterback, Mark Brunell, throwing for 3 first-half touchdowns. Jags were behind. Now they lead. Halftime will continue in a moment.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
Welcome back to our New York studios and the Nextel Halftime Report. Coming your way after football, some more hard hitting, albeit of a different kind. The men's championship at the United States Open. And for more, let's go over to Dick Enberg and Patrick McEnroe at the USTA National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows.
It is the talk of the town. Oh my, last evening, the magical setting, Venus Williams successfully defending her U.S. Open crown in a historic match against her younger sister, Serena. And today, 30-year-old Pete Sampras wants more history of his own. He seeks a record-tying 5th U.S. Open title against the 20-year-old Aussie, Leighton Hewitt. But, Patrick, last year in the finals, Sampras lost to a younger, faster opponent.
I don't expect that's going to happen again this year, Dick. You know, many people wrote Sampras off coming into this Open, and he has answered all the questions about where he is. First, he takes out Patrick Rafter, a guy who's won twice before. Then Andre Agassi, of course, who's won here twice before. And then yesterday, against that big Russian in a rematch of last year's final, Sampras dominant again. He has been serving beautifully, didn't lose serve in any of those matches. I expect he gets another title here in New York.
Grand Slam record is in Sampras' hands with 13. Can he win 14 today? Coming up right after football, Leighton Hewitt, Pete Sampras, the men's championship, the 2001 U.S. Open, now back across the river.
Sampras Hewitt, Mike, who wins?
Well, Sampras beating everybody he shouldn't have beat. I think he's going to win this thing.
I'll make it simple. Youth will be served. Oh, come on. The young guy's going to win.
I'm going with the old guy with the best serve. The best server winning, that's Sampras.
Randy, I hate to tell you, you're all alone. I'm going to make it 3-1 Sampras, and that's exactly what it'll be. Sampras 3 sets to 1. That's later today on CBS, and the NFL will continue in just a moment.
Come on, guys.
This is Dwayne Washington of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
But this is my favorite painting of them all.
Dwayne helps the United Way build stronger communities by supporting after-school programs for kids.
Based on traditional thinking, he was considered a surrealist. Abstract thinking, yet classical form, was how the French interpreted the movement.
That looks like spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
There's an easier way to get the gear the pros wear. For the biggest selection of authentic NFL gear from all 32 teams, call 877-NFL-SHOP. Call 877-NFL-SHOP for your free team catalog.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Direct Connect Halftime Report. Nextel, get right through.
All right, Jim Nance again with you in New York. Welcome back to the Nextel Halftime Report. The game you're watching, Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. Mark Brunell on fire in that first half. And Randy Cross, look at the quarterback comparison in that first half.
The big difference is you're going to see is a touchdown. And really, Pittsburgh drafted Burris and Edwards in '99 and '70 to have big plays. What's Jacksonville got? They got Jimmy Smith and a cool Mark Brunell making the big plays. That's the story. They're making the big plays, and they're physically having a tough game.
Jags trying to win their opener for the 6th straight year. All right, let's go around the league. The most explosive game is taking place at the Meadowlands. The Jets down 17 at halftime to the Colts. How about it, Mike?
And it all happened right at the end. Here's Jerome Payton right down the middle. Manning hits him. That came after a fumble recovery. Now watch this. This just happened minutes before the half. Boom. Terrence Wilkins. See you later, alligator. He's gone.
78 yards. It was just 1 minute and 9 seconds after the hookup with Payton. Early, the story for the Colts had been Edgerrin James. He broke a long one, 29 yards for a touch. 2 touches in all for James, 95 yards rushing. And the Colts right now trying to spoil the coaching debut for Herman Edwards of the Jets. New England and Cincinnati on to the 3rd quarter, tied at 10 there. Jerry?
Well, the quarterbacks are throwing completions, but here's the touchdown. Drew Bledsoe right down the middle.
Troy Brown.
And Troy Brown didn't play him much in the preseason. Sort of saved him, spared his legs, came back, but here's the runner. Here's Corey Dillon running behind the best blocking fullback. Lorenzo Neal now becomes the blocker for always the best back in the league.
He's got a new contract, Dillon, and a new fullback.
Can't beat those two.
And 86 yards in that first half. How about the Saints? Where's the offense?
I tell you what, Buffalo's showing them no respect at all. 5 yards rushing for Ricky Williams.
Wow.
Oakland and Kansas City, the Chiefs. Dick Vermeil's back in the game, and what a gift early in this one.
You want to talk about where's the offense? Oakland so far, the running team of the year last year. They come out passing, 4th play, first pass to Jerry Rice. Warfield the other way, touchdown. They are not running the ball well, only 42 yards rushing for the Raiders, and John Gruden knows to beat Dick Vermeil's team in this emotional a place. When they got a runner like Richardson taking this win for a touchdown, you've got to run the ball to shut that crowd up.
All right, so it's 14-6, about to begin the third quarter in that one. Seattle at Cleveland. Butch Davis, first game as head coach for the Browns, just matching field goals in that one. Bears hold the champs to only 37 yards total offense. Not until a Stover field goal right before the half did the Ravens even get on the board. How about Carolina blanking the Vikings? No catches in the first half for Randy Moss. Tampa Bay and the Cowboys. Emmitt Smith has been more than shut down. He has -2 yards rushing on 6 attempts. And the Cowboys, though, look at this, 6-3. They were huge dogs today. Lions and the Packers, and Ahman Green breaks free twice, 133 yards and 2 touches. The Packers lead over the Lions. We're going to send you back to the second half in Jacksonville in just a moment. The NFL on CBS. You're watching.